What's up, guys? Matt with BAAM Ranch over here on the B channel. I thought I'd talk for a minute about 3/4 inch drive sockets. This is an old set that my granddad had from the farm. And does the average person need anything like this? I don't know. I think yes. But let me talk about why, and it's not 100% what you're thinking. This is an old Powercraft set, an old Montgomery Ward set. I'm not sure if it's complete or not. I've got some other junk in there. I keep an adapter to run 1/2 inch stuff on it if I need to. That doesn't belong in there. It looks like I might be missing a few things here. This is just the way it was when I got it. I wish it went down to like 7/8, but it doesn't. 15/16 is as low as it goes. You'll notice the ratchet is not here. That's because you put a tremendous amount of force on a ratchet and they break. But we will notice that the breaker bar is still holding strong. So what do I use this for? Well, primarily like suspension and heavy duty stuff. And when you get something that's really tight, even if it's just, something you could use a 1/2 inch drive on, just the mass and rigidity of 3/4 inch stuff, 3/4 inch tooling, allows you to put a ton of force. I mean, just boatloads of force into a fastener. Without all the flex and springiness. It gives you a more authoritative words are difficult, grasp on whatever you're working on. I've even used this stuff for replacing elements on my hot water heater. That element screws in, and I don't remember what size it was, but it was one of these sizes, and I really wasn't able to get in there with anything else that I had. So yeah, I wound up using the 3/4 inch drive socket set to remove that. Like I said, I threw one of these in here and an adapter to take it down to 1/2 inch, and I spun that heating element out of my water heater pretty quickly. One use that people forget to think about with these is, well, here's a 2 inch. Think about replacing U-joints or something like that. These are good shop tooling. To where, you push a U-joint out and you need room to let the other end cap push through into this. This set right here has driven many of seals and bearing races. These extensions are heavy duty. So if I need to, use it as not something I'm going to hammer on, but something I'm going to press on, these are a whole lot more likely to survive, and have survived quite a bit in a shop press. I was rebuilding a transmission, and I had to compress a spring off of a set of planetary gears. And I think I used this extension and one of these sockets, I don't remember which one, to compress that spring. And it worked great because it was the tool that I had. Yes, I could go find a piece of pipe, I could, whatever. But this was available. And I use this several times a year for the purpose of not turning fasteners, but as shop tooling. If you're gonna hammer on the back of one of these sockets, put a piece of plate or something over that, so you're not just banging on the back of the socket. These are hardened, so keep that in mind. You don't want to crack one. And for the average guy, I don't think you need to spend a whole lot of money on these. I had a set from Harbor Freight before I inherited these from my granddad, and I never had any trouble with it, just because it's used so seldom. So, for the price, at Northern Tool or Harbor Freight or whatever, or if you see one at a garage sale, yeah, go ahead and pick it up. You'll find a use for it, I promise you. All right, well, anyway, until next time, you guys be safe.